Unless you've been living under a planetary devastation-sized rock, you've probably seen this unrivaled freakazoid of a man doing the rounds on the internet over the last day or so. This man is Naoya Zenin, Jujutsu Kaisen's resident misogynist and molester. Naoya Zenin just made his anime debut in the new JJK movie, and for some unholy reason, Mappa decided to embrace their misogynistic Guna urges and give 90% of the budget to just animating him. The clips I have seen are outrageous. Bro pulled up on Chozo and smacked him up with a Timu Gum Gum Gatling while having the nerve to look away and then seductively flick his hair at the camera. I mean, the two main characters are literally about to throw down, and this Guna-ass studio decided what we really needed to see was a full anime-only extension of Naoya whooping Chozo and Yuji's asses while trying his damnedest to aura farm on camera. I've seen pretty much every cinema recording and official clip there is to see of Naoya versus Chozo, and let me tell you bruh, Mappa must have hired that one girl who single-handedly won Naoya 5th place in the popularity poll by voting 5,000 times. She must have been the one to animate this sequence because they are on some real Guna glazer shite. And yes, that really did happen, by the way. I mean, bro was not moving like this in the manga, bruh, but nah, Mappa said screw it, take all of Chozo's aura and give it to the dude who was single-handedly responsible for downscaling the entire JJK universe to Mark 3. If you know, you know. Well, anime-onlys and the animators can have their fun, but real ones know that it won't hold up for very long. Naoya's gonna meet the worst fate possible for the type of person that he is. Now, the internet's opinions of Naoya are split in two, which may be confusing, so let me explain. On one side, you have the hardcore and fully justified haters who think he's a misogynistic, essaying rat who has somehow mastered the art of dick-riding Gojo and Toji better than their own fanbases do, which is impressive. Let's make that very clear, that's an impressive feat. And the other side is the I can fix him or the I'd let him expand my domain freaks that goon to his daily. I mean, just wait until they find out that Naoya prefers playing with a joystick though. Or what, you didn't know that? Yeah, it's a nice little theory of mine, but I'll get onto that in a little bit. I mean, since Mappa made such a big deal out of Naoya, and since he's all over the interwebs right now, I figured it would be a good idea to give everyone a little refresher about what this subhuman Yuta victim cuck is all about. If you're an anime only, then yes, obviously there will be some spoilers, but I'll try and keep them as minor as possible and not reveal anything too crazy, but you have been warned, there will be spoilers. Also, do me a favor, yeah, just like the video and subscribe to the channel because we're nearly at 30k, innit? Alrighty then, Naoya Zenin is the son of Naobito Zenin and the inheritor of his projection sorcery curse technique, and that also makes him the older cousin of Maki and Mai. He's probably the strongest Zenin once Naobito dies, even though that doesn't last very long. He dyed his hair blonde just for fun, and he carries a concealed weapon because he's a lil bitch. Not to mention the fact that he's also the walking, talking embodiment of a superiority complex. And let's also not forget that upon his introduction, he makes it very well known that he thinks, quote, any woman who can't walk 3 steps behind a man should be stabbed in the back and left to die, end quote. If you know, you know, Gege, you really are a demon for this one because that came full circle in a very nice way. But yeah, he then proceeds to say that, oh, this one's just so messed up, dude. Quote, Mai is great. She's got the same face as Maki and is just as buxom. Although she acts tough, she knows she's a woman, end quote. That is a grown man talking about his teen cousins, by the way. And the absolute worst of it isn't even that. The worst of it is in a certain fight when Naoya makes a remark that very strongly implies he essayed Mai at some point in time, which is genuinely kenjaku levels of evil. And yes, this is the same character that Mappa has decided to give anime-only aura to. Hopefully, they're just gassing him up so it hits 67 times harder when Maki's man looks down on Naoya and offers him a pity heal. And to think some of you call Yuta a fraud and a bum when he's literally out here doing God's work. I hope Naoya knew that the man whose aura alone made him crap his pants was Maki's man, because I know that's gotta sting for him. What a cuck. But of course, because he's such a twisted and loathsome person who also happens to be arguably attractive because this is Jujutsu Kaisen where we just goon over men, some individuals in the fanbase defend this reptile to their last breath. I mean, of all the hills to die on, and you choose Naoya Zenin. I mean, the character as a character is great, he serves his purpose, I really enjoy him, he's a great addition to the story, sure. But these individuals I speak of, they do not like the character for the character, no, they just have some questionable fantasies. They're not the only ones though, because Naoya definitely has some fantasies of his own, which is where my fun little Naoya theory comes into play. I mean, Gege clearly delivered the message loud and clear that Naoya's character is literally shrouded in irony. But before I get into explaining this, I do want to let you know that there are some much more significant spoilers lying ahead in terms of Naoya. So just be warned, alright? Wait, you're still here? Alright, cool, but now just, it's your own fault, alright? So Naoya looks down on women, yet he's bested by a woman. He said that women who don't walk 3 steps behind should be stabbed in the back and left to die, which is exactly what a woman did to him. And for someone who looks down on women so much, his new and improved designs later on definitely seem to be inspired by women. If you know, you know. But the most interesting thing about Naoya is that for someone who looks down on almost everyone around him, he sure knows how to choke on Gojo and Toji's meat. I'm being deadass, bruh. Like, this dude grew up being praised as a genius and raised to believe he was above everyone else. And yet he took one look at Toji and immediately realized how much of a nothing burger he really was compared to a real man. Okay, I guess Toji's not the best example of a real man either. I mean, he does try and kill and abandon kids, so it's maybe not my best phrasing, but whatever, he's still like 5,000 times the man Naoya is. Since laying eyes on Toji and learning all about the legendary Satoru Gojo though, Naoya grew up and started to understand himself better, but he clearly just internalized who he truly was. As an adult, he came to the realization that he alone could understand Toji and Gojo. He alone would be the next to stand with them at the top, which is something he word for word says himself in the manga. Why does he think this? Because Naoya Zenin is gay. It all makes so much sense, right? Like, he clearly internalized who he really was as a kid and failed to embrace the truth, which is what caused his obsession with looking down on women, and it explains why he is as, if not more, obsessed with Gojo and Toji as your average JJK fan, which is, let's be honest, quite an achievement. It's because he's gay, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, Naoya Zenin, despite being a horrifically terrible person who deserves the worst fate imaginable, I do wholeheartedly accept you for who you are, and will cheer you on in your search for death. I mean, his character just makes so much more sense when you consider this possibility, so unlucky Naoya Gunas, but you ain't gonna be fixing squat, because Naoya Zenin is a joystick player. I should probably clarify that I'm only half joking. Like, yeah, it's a funny bit and funny for the video, and I don't really think that this was Gege's intention at all, but like, when you actually deep it, it's not a terrible theory, right? Like, just the internalization of who he, whatever, man, it's just some food for thought, right? Don't take it too seriously. Obviously, there is a fair bit more to Naoya Zenin and the events that he's involved in, but at the end of the day, he's really just not that long-term of a character with much importance at all, besides downscaling the whole verse to Mark III. Yeah, thanks for that. So I figured I'd just give you a refresher of the basics and call it a day. So as always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the membership options because I want to eat this month, and yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in a bit.